Okay, looking into the next news, it's a very sad one. We see that there's a loss in the tech and science space, where we see that Jane Goodall, world-renowned primatologist, a conservationist, dies at the age of 91. It's sad, but it's, will I say, a celebration because she's 91. She has lived a fulfilled life, and we can see that so many things as impact have been in the world. The world is paying tribute to Jane Goodall as the pioneering primatologist and conservationist who has died at the age of 91. Her institution confirmed that she passed away of natural causes while in California, where she was speaking on a speaking tour. Dr. Goodall transformed global understanding on primates when she began studying chimpanzees in Tanzania in the year 1960. Her groundbreaking exploration has challenged a long-held belief providing chimpanzees could use tools and displaying social behaviors one through a unique, which is only actually unique to human beings. In 1977, she founded the Jane Goodall Institution, which now operates in more than 25 countries, supporting conversations, habitat protections, and youth-led environment projects. Tributes have been poured from all across the world. The United Nations praised her as a tireless advocate for nature. Greenspace described her as one of the true conservationist giants of our time. Over a career spanning more than 6 decades, she became not only the leading expert in chimpanzees, but also a global voice in the wildlife, and the environment of wildlife at large. She made a dam in 2004, honored as the UN Messenger of Peace, and earlier this year she received a Medal of Freedom, and American highest civilian award. Jane Goodall's passion for discovery began as a child in London and carried her thought for lifetime. In the year 1977, she founded this particular career, and over the year, her career has been spanning more than 6 decades, and she became not only the leading expert on chimpanzee, but also a global voice in the wildlife and environment. She has made a name in 2004 and honored in the UN Message of Peace. She once said, "I am not going to give in. I will die fighting, that's for sure." Jane Goodall, who has died at the age of 91, leaves behind an extraordinary legacy for humanity and the natural world. This is a very beautiful thing. And to see that somebody leaves a legacy that has not just been left in the minds of, will I say, the citizens of our country, but the wildlife at large. Everybody is pouring tribute from different countries, seeing that she has affected the wildlife at large, and it's a beautiful one. To see that somebody has been able to keep down this legacy. You know, when I look at one of the legacies she made is the chimpanzee part, and it's so unique that chimpanzee can come into communication, some human communications that chimpanzee can do. And we've watched this in movies. I've actually not been able to experience it in physical, in reality, but I've watched a lot of it in movies being translated, what she has been able to do in the wildlife when it comes to chimpanzee, being able to relate and have some attributes, or relating some attributes that human beings actually relate. It shows that a lot can be done in the tech and science world. You know, when I see things like this, I think we were talking about it in newspaper review this morning. When people bring up an idea from other people's idea, it just shows that the world holds a lot of things that we need to actually unfold. Seeing somebody has unfolded this one, another person can come up and think of the better things that chimpanzee can do, exactly. More better things. And from one idea, it's better another idea. It drives another person to better another idea. It's a beautiful legacy. This is one beautiful legacy. We will send our condolences to her family, and also a celebration because this is a medal. She's 91.
She's 91.
She died, and they said she died with natural causes. She died well fulfilled, living a big and huge legacy, not just for herself, but for her family at large.
Yes, finally the world this morning because when I saw the news late hours of yesterday, I was like, this name, I do not know what she looks like, but the name.
Her name?
Because when when I was doing, while in secondary school, and I was being taught history, the history of man.
Yes.
I know that this name was
yes.
one of the references. I know, and also when I was doing offering an elective course in the university, her name was one of the, scholars, we made references to. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's Jane. Oh, okay, this is what she looks like. I mean, this is the first time I am seeing what she looks like, but her name, I mean, that's to tell you that good legacy is good. I mean, she has left something in her heart. Started at the age of 25, in a male-dominated field. You don't find too many women as at then compared to now in wildlife field. I mean, it's like, where did you muster that much courage? But then she took a leap and she went for it and she changed everything. I mean, I can say she changed the way humans, see themselves. She changed the way we saw or we see chimpanzees until today. Yes. We got to know that chimpanzees, think, I mean, they have complex social lives, just the way human beings are. I mean, that's why many human beings have been likened to be, from the ape, family, the ape species. But then, and also I can say, her death, you mentioned something which is very important. I feel like her death is not just the end of an era.
Yes.
I feel like she has taught us to be patient, especially when it comes to observations and that observation can upend assumptions as well. If you see something, you say it, you want to know more about it. It's more like what I used to say, is wanting to, have something in you, have this passion, is another thing for you to build it, to upskill in it, and is another thing for you to make impact with it. So I feel like that's what she has done here. She has showed us chimps use tools and have emotional lives and a whole lot of things. I love documentaries a lot, so I've watched most of these documentaries. I mean, some of which of her assumptions and findings came to play, And she also made conversations feel personal. She made us not just see them as animal we could relate to. I mean, we're seeing in the pictures how she relates with animals and a whole lot of things like that. She's done a whole lot for herself. So I just feel like her life is more like a masterclass in how, science can change our hearts and also change policies, because her findings, her observations has brought many things into, policies when it comes to conservations, animal, wildlife, and conservations, I mean. And also, we should honor her by not just saying, oh, she's dead, oh, she did this, making reference to what she has done. We should also honor her by scaling protection of this species.
Yes.
So we can keep her legacy. Yes, we also, honor this, protect these habitats, train the next generation in these fields, train the next generation in science, train the next generation in research and development. I think it's a good thing. And also, I see that she's an advocate. I love to hear about advocates, and it's a wonderful thing. She's not just a scientist, but she's an advocate. This is to tell you that where advocacy comes into science, they go hand in hand. Where advocacy comes into science is that when you are, as a scientist, you have to protect your thinking. You have to protect what you believe in. So I think that is what she has beautifully done. I can say I wish her well. And it's, I mean, God opens his abode for her to enter fully. So that brings us to the end of the news headlines review. Let's take the recap. Nigeria launches democratic astronaut selection in global space race.
SEC urges Nigerians to build wealth through capital market investment.
We brought to you news that U.S. signals support for one-year AGWA extension as long-term reform debate persists.
Jane Goodall, world-renowned primatologist and conservationist, dies at the age of 91.
All right, so that brings us to the end of the newspaper review segment. We go on a quick break, and when we're back, we'll bring you up to speed and proper into the discussion segment, my favorite segment.